BRAINY presents Ancient Words of Wisdom That Will Change Your Life. A lot has been said throughout time, and the most profound words of wisdom come from history's greatest thinkers. In this video, we've compiled some of our favorites. The following bits of ancient wisdom can be used as a guide to help you live a more fulfilling and meaningful life. They are not only inspiring, but incredibly insightful as well. Some of these may be familiar to you. Some may be new discoveries. Nevertheless, they have the power to change your life. Know how to listen, and you will profit even from those who talk badly. The ability to hear what people are saying, to take in the information they share, and then process it, is a skill that will help you in every aspect of your life. After all, listening is the key to understanding. So even if someone is saying something that doesn't resonate with you, make it a point to listen with intent. Maybe there will be something they say that gives you new insight, or makes you think differently about an issue or topic you hadn't considered before. Perhaps it will open your eyes and make you feel more connected with that particular individual, even if they are saying things that are entirely different from what you believe. By learning how to listen and ask questions to understand another person's perspective, you'll find that there's so much more value in what they have to say than just the words themselves. When you are offended at any man's fault, turn to yourself and study your own failings. Then you will forget your anger. When offended, it's tempting to blame the other person for our feelings and conclude that they're at fault. But the truth is that more often than not, we are just as much at fault as they are. So look within yourself before pointing a finger at someone else. You might be surprised at what you find. When you consider your own shortcomings, you realize that maybe it's not so much about what someone else is doing, but more about how you react to it. All of a sudden, the situation becomes a lot less personal and a lot more manageable. No man ever steps in the same river twice, for it's not the same river, and he's not the same man. It's easy to get stuck in our ways and become fearful of change. You might think that if things change too much, it will be the end of you. But this is not true. If you can learn to embrace change rather than fear it, you will experience more joy in life because you'll be able to adapt to the world around you more easily. You must learn to accept this fact and practice being comfortable in a state of constant flux. And don't be afraid to question what you think you know about yourself or the world in general. It will help clarify your opinions and put them in a more accurate context. Reserve your right to think. For even to think wrongly is better than not to think at all. In a world where we're constantly being told what to do, we need to remember that we are all individuals with our own thoughts and perspectives. It's important to take time to reflect on what's really important, and that starts with thinking about what you want for yourself. When you do this, you'll find that it's easier to make decisions that align with who you are and where you want to go. You'll also be able to see clearly when someone is trying to sway you in another direction. And ultimately, this will help guide you toward a life that is more fulfilling and meaningful. In the midst of chaos, there is also opportunity. This is a great quote to keep with you when times get tough. It's true that in times of turmoil, it can be hard to see past the darkness. But if you step back for a moment and take a deep breath, you'll realize that even amid uncertainty, there is always hope. You have a choice at this moment. You can choose to let yourself be overwhelmed by everything going on around you, or you can choose to rise up and make a difference. If you look at every problem as a challenge and an opportunity, you'll be able to find ways around them and come out on top. People are like dirt. They can either nourish you and help you grow as a person, or they can stunt your growth and make you wilt and die. I know, this sounds harsh, but it's true. We all need support from others, and if we don't get it, we start to shrivel up inside. But you don't have to go through life feeling like a victim of other people's choices. You can actually choose for yourself how much energy to invest in others. If someone is making you feel bad about yourself or taking away from your own growth, it might be time to let them go. It is not because things are difficult that we do not dare. It is because we do not dare that they are difficult. You know all those things you want to do but haven't done? The ones that seem difficult and intimidating? Well, they may be difficult, but that doesn't mean they're impossible. Now, there's nothing wrong with being cautious. It's actually a good thing. But don't let doubt and fear hold you back from doing something you really want. Go ahead and dare. Take a risk. Try something new. Break out of your comfort zone and see where it takes you. You'll be amazed at what you can accomplish when you stop holding yourself back. Good character is not formed in a week or a month. It is created little by little, day by day. Protracted and patient effort is needed to develop good character. It can be discouraging when you're working hard and not seeing any results. When it feels like your character is a work in progress, it can be tempting to give up. But remember, good character is not something you can just snap into existence. It takes time, effort, and patience to develop into the kind of person you want to be. And sometimes that means going against what feels natural or easy. So don't give up. Keep working toward your goal of becoming a better person, even if it feels like it's taking forever. If you do not change direction, you may end up where you are heading. This is a simple thought, but with incredible power. And it applies whether we're talking about our careers or personal lives. When going through life, we tend to think about our destination and the steps we need to take to get there. But if you don't stop and take stock of what's going on around you and where your current path is leading, you might find yourself at a place that's really not where you want to be. It's important to recognize when things aren't working out. That way, you can make changes that will lead you towards success, instead of continuing down a path that only leads you further away from your goals and dreams. The happiness of your life depends upon the quality of your thoughts. The way we think about ourselves and everything around us can have a profound impact on how we feel about our lives. When you're thinking happy thoughts, you're more likely to be happy in general. But when you're thinking negative thoughts, that negativity can spread throughout your day and even into other areas of your life, like relationships or work. You don't have to feel sorry for yourself if things don't go according to plan. You can choose how you react to any given situation or circumstance. You are the master of your mind. You can choose to think positively and feel great, or you can choose to think negatively and feel terrible. It's up to you. True wisdom comes to each of us when we realize how little we understand about life, ourselves, and the world around us. There is always more to learn about yourself and everything else around you, so it's important not to get too bogged down in thinking you know everything. When you do that, your mind closes off from new ideas and experiences, and if you're not careful, your whole life becomes closed off from itself. There's no shame in admitting that you're wrong or even just unsure about something. The only way to grow is to learn, and the only way to learn is to acknowledge that you don't have it all figured out. When you begin learning new things and challenging your ideas about how things are, you become wiser. What you leave behind is not what is engraved in stone monuments, but what is woven into the lives of others. Life is short, and we should make the most of it while we're here. But have you ever stopped to consider the impact you have on others? Have you ever wondered what legacy you'd like to leave behind? Of course, there are all kinds of answers to these questions. Some people want their legacy to be seen by the world, and others would rather it only be known by a select few. However, there's one thing for sure. Whatever path you choose, your legacy will ultimately be defined by its impact on others. You can choose to live with love or with hate, and it's your responsibility to do so with intention. The way you live your life has an impact on everyone around you, whether you realize it or not. There you have it. Hopefully, these words of wisdom will give you pause to consider a new perspective or to challenge some assumptions you have. Perhaps they will resonate and inspire you in ways you wouldn't have expected. If you enjoyed this video, give it a thumbs up and share with your friends so we can keep making them. For more videos like this, hit the subscribe button and remember to click on the notification bell. Also, be sure to check out our other videos as well. Thanks for watching.